Welcome to Schoolstone, everyone. Your Sunday afternoon and Saturday afternoon match for PHL. I am Lotus Knight, one of your hosts for tonight or today, and I am joined by Wild Nine. Wild Nine, how are you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Excited to see the match today.
We have a really good one. Today we have the commissioner himself, Arhat from Votus of Confidence, versus Itachi for F2L Black. So this is a hero match. Do you want to quickly go over what the hero format is, Wild Nine, so our viewers know?
Sure, it's basically last hero standing, which means that once you lose with the deck, you can no longer play that deck again. The person who wins has to continue to play the same deck. And so the goal, of course, is to win 3 games out of 5 and to have one of your decks make it to the end, so to speak.
Yeah, um, that's true. Now, our players here, I'm not even going to talk about them, other than the fact that for some reason they are 3C. They're both really, really good THL players. Itachi has had a really, really big THL career, and Hat is THL himself. So these are two crazy players facing as 3 seeds with very similar lineups. Hat bringing the Druid Paladin Rogue Warrior versus Itachi Druid Priest Rogue Warrior. So, what do you think of these lineups? Anything you feel is more favored here at Wild Nine?
Yeah, I was looking at it a little bit. I know that in Hero, because of Last Hero Standing, the format is a little bit different, and it feels like all of these classes, generally speaking, are very flexible. In particular, Druid, Rogue, and Warrior, those 3 classes, which both people have brought, are very, very flexible. Paladin as well, of course, because now you have 3 different archetypes than Paladin. In particular, though, Druid, Rogue, Warrior, they all have archetypes that are very different, with very different matchup spreads for the most part, and that allow you to do what's unexpected, allow you to counter different classes, things like that. And the priest, which is what Itachi has, but Ridiculous Hat does not have. That's maybe there's really just one main archetype more or less, but there's so many different lists, and every tech card that you bring in can be tailored to beat certain matchups, right? So if you play condemns, if you're playing a heal package, if you're playing, more
Right.
minions, giants, all of that's going to make a difference.
Yeah. We do know the bans here. Hat is not going to play his warrior, while Itachi is not going to play his priest. So, with that being said, I think we're ready to give them the green light. Are you ready?
Yeah, ready. Okay, so no warrior for Hat and no priest for Itachi. All right.
Yeah. So, there's no surprise. I think Hat's lineup did not line up well against the priest, and I think Itachi does not want to face Rush Warrior. So, this is no huge surprise here.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was looking at it. I was thinking about some different. I was thinking about how Hat deals with Rush Warrior in particular.
Hmm.
Um, with the ban on Warrior, it seems like maybe the best matchup there is either Paladin of some kind, maybe. Um, And also
Yeah.
possibly Clown Druid. I mean, that's the other like kind of counter, I guess. If Hat is running Clown Druid and not Token Druid, right?
Right. I do think Hat is going Token because Token can line up. Well, Token isn't great into Warrior, but it can line up well into Rogan. Now, you can
Yeah,
beat Rush Warrior with Libra and Paladin pretty well if you bring the correct cards. You do need to bring the very often cut. What's the name? The very often cut Libram of Justice. That card is really good.
right.
We are queuing into them now. Let's see if I
Yeah.
can click the right person.
Yeah, I
And the
see them
friends
now.
list stops bugging.
I was warned by Hat that this is both players tend to play very fast. I know Hat definitely
Yes.
does. So
We're going to see this go super fast. This could be a Nasdormu match without Nasdormu,
exactly. But
just
we have
so
the
our
rogue
viewers
into
know.
the rogue here, so
Yeah,
it
we're
does
going to
look
start with the Rogue Mirror.
it does look like both are miracles. So
Yeah, Itachi
Nothing
does
too
have a really
spoiling.
good start with the Octobot, if he wants to coin it out, but that would give Hat room to have his own Octobot.
Yeah, no, initiator to proc the Octobot yet. Oh, now he has one, I guess.
He could also just throw the Octobot. We know there's no great way for Hat to deal with it, but I don't know that the
Right.
players know.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't even know what kind of rogue it is yet, but now he's gonna find out.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a
Hat going
fast start.
yeah, with the tempo play.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
interesting.
mhm,
I guess he doesn't see necessarily, like, looking at his hand, he doesn't really have, he doesn't have the Octobot, so he can't really go off with his field contact.
no. I
So
still
choosing to
wanted the
go
efficient Octobot early though, because I think on two, the only argument not to do it is actually Vanessa giving your opponent Octobot.
right. Yeah, I think that would make sense, especially with the hand that he's got, because this is kind of an awkward, like, turn 3 play. He kinda wants to just play Mankrik on 3, I think, and not have to kind of try to figure out how to use this Octobot.
Yeah, the only problem with Mankrik here is that it lines up pretty poorly into your opponent.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that before, like, that's why I was saying, I guess, the turn 2 Octobot would have done a lot better here.
Yes,
It would have helped him be able to go for Mankrik plus something else, or go for a big tempo swing turn, after getting, some kind of proc on the Octobot.
I
But this,
agree.
yeah, becomes very, very awkward.
Yeah. Now his opponent could try to go for a cult neophyte one thief. Could start with a field contact, but I don't think I like that.
Looks like he's gonna see what he gets off the One Thief first.
He's looking for something like devolving missiles. Rune Orb is fine. I think
Yeah,
Snap Freeze could be an option, but it's not great.
I'm pretty sure he's just gonna swing into this Octobot.
Yeah. The thing about the Octobot is, as much as you hate that the effect is going to get triggered, you also cannot let most cards get buffed by it. As we can see
Right.
now, this Octobot is actually not that good. Like,
Yeah,
it's a good card, but it's not breaking the game or anything.
definitely. I mean, it sets up for, like, a turn 10 combo, maybe?
But that's so slow.
Exactly.
Right now, your opponent has 10 damage on board, and you can't even really go Secret Passage. You're going to have to go Mankrik and Hero Power.
Yeah. I like that little trade there. I was thinking about that, leaving the Octobot up, but still proccing it, and then killing off the 2/1, getting the
Hmm.
extra value. Probably does have to think about Wicked Stab here,
Yeah,
but I don't know, he could also, yeah, just kill the 3/1.
yeah. Here's an interesting interaction for those of you who did not know this. If you reduce the cost of a zero cost card with Octobot and you increase the cost with something like Neophyte, it actually still costs zero.
Oh, interesting.
Isn't that a cool interaction?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so the cost is innately -1, but we don't actually have -1 costs.
Right, right, right.
Interesting that both players are taking their time this match.
I
They're
know, I
just
felt like this is a lot slower than I would expect.
it is. Hat does not play this slow. I mean, we've seen the curve a few times, the rope a few times. That doesn't happen.
I mean, maybe it's probably speaks to some degree of, the complexity of Miracle Rogue.
Yes, definitely.
Alright, so this is a secret passage turn.
Yeah, Itachi is looking for honestly anything he can make a board with, or just draw cards.
Okay. Not too bad, I guess. I mean, I don't know, you kinda want a little more, but
Yeah,
I guess
thing
Kazakus
is,
would have been good there.
yeah, they're just not caring that much about this option. That's
Right.
the issue.
Yeah, there's only 2 things. I mean, should he have gone for the 3-2 instead? I was thinking about that a little bit with only 2 cards in hand.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
This Oasis ally is, gonna be strong. Ooh,
Oh,
nice
Jan
top deck
Despera.
with the Shadow Step.
Yeah.
This may pull it back.
Yeah, this was probably the really big chance that Hat needed, or sorry, that Itachi needed, just to get the best tempo card in the game, pretty much.
Definitely. Proccing that Water Lily is not gonna feel great, but,
No, but you
um,
don't mind that much. Not with the
yeah.
Jandis and Alex in hand.
Okay, it was gonna be a secret passage turn, but now you have Golem.
Yeah.
Do you go for the 1 drop or the 5 drop here?
As Rogue, it's
Looks like
almost always the 5, but I think here the 1 is also fine.
yeah, it looks like the 1. I think the are you going deal 3 damage to random minions? It's only 1 though. I'd have to look at the math here on these,
Yeah.
on +1/+1.
Right. I don't totally hate +1/+1.
Oh, he drew a card.
That also makes
Ooh,
sense. And that's a
gets
good one to
rewarded.
draw.
Oh, okay, that makes sense, sure. Just hero powered down.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Now,
one if he went rush there, it does make sense because he gets to ping off one of the drops, right?
right. Now this is a pretty bad one.
Yikes.
Yeah, this is what Agenda's high roll looks like, or low roll looks like. Just getting that blood herald. By far the worst Agenda's.
Still a reasonable board. I mean, you've stabilized now, but here Hat is gonna go off perhaps?
Yeah, Hat gets to draw a lot, right?
Ooh, gets a brain freeze. Yikes. Oh my gosh, these, truly
Yeah.
miracle draws.
Yeah.
Rogue doing rogue
This
things.
pretty much does put the advantage right into Hat. Tachi will need basically a perfect turn with Hat doing nothing. I don't see it. Especially
Yeah, I
because he
mean
cannot kill the field contact.
well, he can Alex it. I think I mean, he has to play Alex, right? I mean
Alexing this 3-2 is a loss, though.
oh, it feels
Cannot win
terrible.
after doing
But do you have another play? I mean, you swindle for nothing for just a spell?
good swindle for passage. Yeah.
I guess oh, there it is. Gets another swindle. The Tenwu gives him prize plunder? Oh, no, sorry, this is the Tenwu, sorry, not the other card. Not the
Yeah, if he
Vanessa.
can swindle and get a prize for it as a chance.
Alright. Rope in here. Gets it off, hopefully? Oh,
Nope.
did not get it off. And we keep doing rogue things,
Yeah.
which is the real problem, and there's the prize plunder that, Itachi was looking for. Yeah, okay, that seems about right. You know, it's crazy how things, snowball, but it really does feel like even that turn 2 play had a real impact there.
Right.
The simple decision of, you know, playing the neophyte into fundamentally nothing. I mean, and no real pop off turn, you know, that early. You know, so you might get more value from that, and then also possibly getting more value from being able to play the Octobot into something.
Hmm.
Because I think if I remember correctly, off of that turn, he also had to use a prize plunderer really early on for just, to get back on board a little bit. And so, I
Yeah,
like Hat's decision too to just kind of tempo things out once he saw that play, and just aggressively playing Vanessa and just kind of like tempoing out very quickly.
I agree. I think there is also the fact that one player had the field contact while the other did not.
Yeah.
It's really important in the mirror. It's like Deadest and Auction Year on old school Miracle, but without it, you just don't have the capacity to draw that much, and you're just in trouble as the rogue. Now, what
So
does Itachi play? Rush Warrior time?
yeah, I think it should be right. Yeah. Okay. That's the main counter here, right? To the rogue.
Yeah. So Itachi's looking for conditioning. He's looking for parade leader, athletic studies, stage dive, basically the good card, so he can overwhelm his opponent as quick as possible. Bumper card is a good option because the writers do a lot of work.
Yeah. It's interesting. Is this standard? Maybe I don't play Miracle Rogue enough. He kept Kazakus and Jandis. Is that
They're
normal in this
good
matchup?
cards into Warrior.
I mean, they definitely are, but he has no early game play at all, right?
No.
Keeping both feels very greedy. Maybe keeping Kazakus I can understand certainly in this matchup,
Hmm.
uh, but both is pretty greedy. But I guess if your opponent doesn't have a fast start, doesn't curve out, then you're going to be fine.
Yeah, we do see the bumper car into Man Creek play, which we're expecting to happen.
And there's that amazing top deck,
Yeah,
right on time.
right on the perfect time. I really hate Octobot personally. I think it's such a bad card.
Well, now you have the 3 mana Kazakus, so suddenly that greedy play
Yeah,
feels totally fine. Because you could Kazakus, coin out Jandis, and then play a 5-drop Golem after that if you want.
yeah. That is one of the ways that you can beat warriors. It's just have a good old 5 mana Jandis right on turn 4.
Yeah, so suddenly keeping the 2 greedy cards seems, like a
Yeah,
brilliant genius play.
that's true.
It's possible though, even that yeah, honestly, that had has that in mind, right? He throws the 2 cards back. If he gets
Yeah,
Octobot, this is a he's disadvantaged here. He's going for a slight high roll, right? Which is reasonable.
yeah. I did like the flurry there. To be, I think flurry was a better than expected option, just as a way to get back the board or to freeze the board at some point when Hat does something annoying.
Yeah, it's interesting, the font of power pick.
Yeah. Now we're probably going to see either Coin Golem or Jandis. The Golem is a deal 3 to 2, which I don't think is that good here.
Right. Oh, he goes
But
for it.
yeah, and he does get rewarded.
He does get the 2, and yeah, I like this, getting the 5 man it's a good foresight. He does have this ability to create divine shield on this,
Yes.
making this very annoying.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because on 5 especially, right? He doesn't really wanna play these riders. I mean, there's a lot of 5 drops that, Rush Warrior would rather play,
Hmm.
but you kinda have to ping this off, so
Yeah. Now the Rokara means Jandis is not happening because Jandis likely means this Rokara survives, and there's nothing more dangerous than a Rokara.
right. Okay. I don't know if he had another play. I mean, he did that really quick.
Yeah,
He could have tried to swindle into something,
agreed.
like font of power, see what you get, swindle.
Now you can't even slam Tentra.
Yeah, that's really nice. And it's a huge one to boot,
Yes, and it's going to get buffed by the Rokara.
right? So now you're in trouble if you're the rogue here.
Yeah,
That crab rider is beautiful too because it deals with the board so nicely.
yeah.
It's into Jandis.
Now, how do you stop this Rokara from? doing everything you do. You need the swindle to go well. You need fauna power. Firebrand is good, but not enough to play right now.
It feels too late in some sense. Yes,
Yeah,
this he's gonna play it first? I was thinking that you don't you have to find,
you need Plunder.
your yeah, or contact, not field contact, the other one. Sorry, the eviscerate, the fake eviscerate.
Yes, you need Wicked Stab.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah,
Cobra
okay.
comes in.
I mean, it was
Yeah,
about to get disgusting right there.
yeah.
That makes sense. All right. So, the warrior gets the win that it's there to get pretty much. So, this is where I think it gets sticky for Arhad is dealing with the rush warrior. If he brought the clown druid, then that would be the spot for it here.
Right.
Or yeah, like you were saying, maybe the Libram Paladin that also can get an edge for sure. That's closer to a 50-50 matchup, though. I mean, it doesn't give you as big of an edge. So it kind of depends on what he was thinking about doing with that druid. But I kind of was thinking that if he's not banning warrior, and if he's more worried about the priest, I suppose, then clown does make some sense. But I guess we'll
Hmm.
see. Okay, so it's the paladin.
Yeah, so likely the token
Yeah,
draws,
very
which
likely a token druid.
we are going to see this. I'm not sure this is Libram. This might actually be in the Zoth.
Um, Interesting. Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
yeah,
in
it
the Zoth.
is. So he just doesn't have a great answer to Rush Warrior, I feel like.
No. Now
I mean,
some
these
people are adding Blessing of Authority as an answer to Rushword.
oh,
I don't
interesting.
know if Hat went that.
That's true. He could have some text here to try to deal with this. He
This
does
helps
have
a
a
lot.
right, yeah, he does have a very nice opening hand. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And even the one drops he picked up, these are all just fine, just great.
Yeah. Now you could slam the ETC as just a tempo play, but most likely you're going studies and trying to find something that can kill that 2/3. Um, maybe the 3/1 Murloc would be pretty good here.
Yeah, I do like the studies play a little bit more, but
Yeah, because this is
also
very bad into the most expected play
right.
and of a doll.
And he did keep that card, right? So
Yeah.
because now this is pretty awkward.
Yeah, you need to athletic study something good. Now, do you have a turn to wait for Anchorman, or do you need to play it now?
Yeah, I was thinking that yeah, I don't know, like, you'd have to wait 1 turn. You don't
Yeah.
have a good way to deal with this 4/4.
No.
Ooh, interesting. So just
Let's
fight for
choose one.
tempo.
Yeah. Now,
I
given
think
the
that's
hand.
yeah, that's also why I liked the athletic studies last turn also, just because you could set up something with whatever you get, even if you can't wipe the board, right?
Right.
I guess you can't play nothing there. I mean, that's pretty bad. So I
Yeah,
guess the 2/3 is just a 2/3. I guess it's fine. It just always feels bad to me when you can't get value off of some of these cards,
I
but it's
agree.
probably right, to just, tempo that out.
I agree. I mean, especially for an arena deck that's not being played in arena.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Now you can take Mini Frost Nova or Arcane Intel.
I didn't s okay, so he has rush, so he's going for the freeze.
Makes sense.
Going for a Rakara grow play.
I don't know that I love this.
Yeah, I was looking a bit at the Tent Trasher, but
I agree.
because you know that he's got a golem, and that feels like it's dangerous to just play
Yeah.
Rikara with not more value than that.
Now, the play that Itachi is trying to make here is playmaker 10 trash. That's really what's going to win the game.
Right, I see. Yeah, that's true, and he's got it here.
Does.
Little bit awkward, but not too bad.
Yeah. Your opponent also gets really afraid of playing the 8-8 into this board because if you draw any rush card, that 8-8 is a pretty bad target.
Right. But I don't he has no choice, right? I mean, he's pretty much
No, no great choices.
could he have played the hand of a doll on it just because? I don't know.
Oh,
Just make the biggest possible ouch. Yikes.
yeah, really not what you want to see. Even if you likely are going to get your secret prot, I think this is still fine.
Yeah, I don't think the secret matters too much in this instance.
No.
You can get a weapon as well, so
Yeah, you can play the second Sword Eater, just get the board. Next turn, Alex is going in for the kill.
right. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I just I'm not sure what if he's playing Token Druid as the yeah, I don't know. When I saw the matchup, I just immediately thought, yeah, what does he do against Rush Warrior?
Yeah,
That's why I'm pretty surprised that this is Menagerie Paladin. Maybe he was expecting a slightly different ban. Oh,
that
is he
could be
just
the
oh, okay.
case.
I thought for a second he was just gonna leave him at 8 and just be
Yeah, I
like,
thought so
"Well, I have
too.
lethal anyway," which would have been fine too.
It would have been fine, but I could see some plays, especially with first aid, that could generate
Right.
awkwardness.
Yeah. At first I thought like, "Yeah, he's just gonna leave it up." No.
No,
Alright,
no,
well, there's no outs here, so
no. You either get out of the way of the Alex, or you can just get traded by writers and die. Playmaker, huge play this game.
yeah, definitely.
Just made all the plays a lot easier. Sorry, I had to do it.
I mean, it makes sense in this matchup when it's Menagerie Pally and, you're basically just fighting for board, right? So whoever wins the board, and then Rush Warrior has a small advantage because of all the rush minions, so you can clear off the board pretty easily.
Right. Now, Itachi's Rush Warrior is facing Hat's token. Hat needs that explosive start and needs Itachi not to get Blade Master Samuro.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely I mean, it's tilted towards the, Rush Warrior, but it's definitely a winnable matchup. This is nothing crazy. He does have 1, 2,
No,
3 curve here. The
but that
Warrior does, I
curve
mean.
is very annoying.
Right, exactly. Like, it's an issue of, again, getting onto the board, right? And, he's got a weapon now to control the board perhaps, and, you're right, he's gonna have to go for this a big, Glowfly Swarm kind of turn, to
Yeah,
establish a board.
yeah, and he's probably going to have to do it into a 2-3, a 3-4, and whatever else is present.
Yeah. I mean, this parade leader is scary. I always feel that way when you play against, Rush Warrior. It just feels like if anything sticks, like those key minions, parade
Yes.
leader, playmaker, it just feels so bad.
Yeah, I think once you get high rolled by one of them once, you learn that, okay, I cannot let that happen again. I'm going to lose if that happens again.
Okay, he was thinking about coin he's gonna go do it, 10 Trasher. I wasn't fully sold because I like
No.
the option of being able to also coin the Overlord, but,
Yeah.
and then Man Crick on 3 is reasonably fine, but, this is the we'll kill him as fast as we can plan.
I don't super love it because you know your opponent makes a big board this. There's no scenario
Right.
for it. I don't like taking this slow by that. Your opponent does get the board here, so you're going to need something like Glowfly Swarm, Lightning Bloom, Power of the One. but that runic carving is a huge pickup.
So you were thinking sorry, you're thinking of the play Lightning Bloom and then Glowfly there?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
playing one of the adorable ones.
Right, right, right.
I just want to get the board if I'm Pat's.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, that makes sense too. Like on 4 too, like the only thing he could have is a Samuro that doesn't I mean, I guess it would clear, but at least you get through it.
Yeah, hasn't been buffed yet. Now we
Right.
are going to see a swarm. I would be shocked if that ups different play.
Yeah, because even if I mean, you can't play around Samuro essentially, but I guess oh, he's going for Runic?
It's also fine, and you're
But that
giving your opponent
implies
more time.
he's gonna rush them, right? And overload?
Yeah, going to do
Yeah.
that to kill the parade leader.
So the one thought I had, the reason maybe last turn he doesn't go for that Glowfly is simply because he's afraid with the, um, Prey Leader, he's afraid of Samuro getting buffed that way, right?
Yeah,
But, oh, like, like, you gotta get through Samuro at some point, right? And then the longer the
yes.
game goes with conditioning and other things, Samuro is still gonna get buffed, so
Yeah, it's also more likely draw.
but
There's a
yeah,
higher probability his opponent draws Samuro each turn. Pat is just playing very passive here. Even though
yeah.
he had overload, he could still have made a board.
He
Chooses
still
not to.
got both of these Glowfly swarms in hand. Which is just a little strange, right? Like, especially in this match,
Yeah.
like, you just gotta rip that thing as early as possible so that this doesn't happen, which is
Yeah, your big fear is a thing like this that now's a
yeah,
board, and even if you Glowfly Storm and do Insanity, your opponent is going to win.
so he's gonna get some taunts up, which won't matter on turn 9.
Giving them some health.
He just
Um,
needs Rush Minion? No. Wait, it's lethal anyway, right? I no, 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 not quite.
if there's a one mana rush minion, yes.
Any Rush
Always.
Minion, yes. Wait, he's not
Oh no, this is
discovering it.
lethal. Never mind. Can
Oh,
just
right,
kill
right, weapon,
everything.
weapon, right.
Yeah. Um, I think Hap waited too long this matchup. You don't have the time to wait.
Yeah, I was it's interesting. It felt like especially with the start that Itachi had, right? It did feel
Yeah.
like taking his time when I mean, Itachi was curving out,
Yeah.
even winning the 10 trasher. I mean, it's an indication of something, right? He wasn't waiting till 5. He seems to be just, I want to kill you. That play in particular, maybe he was thinking he needed to create the taunts to try to. I mean, there's no way though, actually, for him to avoid getting hit in the face with the 10 trasher there.
Yeah. I don't really see a good way for him to play that, and that puts just really a lot of pressure, and it ended up turning the match in Itachi's favor. I
Yeah, that
think
that
there was a chance there. That match does look like Hat lost because of his calls, more than due to any particular bad draws or just excellent play by Itachi. But Itachi, I think, played well the whole match.
played well for sure. It just seemed like I would have liked to see how the game would have been played out differently if the Glowfly Swarm comes down there instead.
Yes.
Even does maybe feel bad if on 4 he's got Samuro, but you just if that happens, you just yeah, you lose probably. Like it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't even think you necessarily lose. I still think you have ways out, but
Yeah.
that's best bet at getting onto the board there instead of kind of letting him have one more turn to develop. I didn't really see the big follow-up swing turn, so to speak, that he could pull out, by waiting for one more mana.
Right. I'm bringing Itachi in right now to talk to us. Congratulations, Itachi, on winning the match.
Hey, thanks so much.
How did it feel?
I was a little frustrated after the first game with Rogue just not being able to get like anything going.
Yeah.
Um, but after that, it was pretty comfortable.
Yeah. Did you expect Rush Warrior to be the deck that was going to get you through?
Well, when I was looking at the stat sheet, the only things that it was really unfavored against were Poison Rogue and then Primordial Druid. And so I figured our hat wasn't the type to bring Primordial Druid. I figured he would bring Poison Rogue, but once I saw game one he didn't, I knew that Rush Warrior had a pretty good chance of sweeping
Sure.
out.
Yeah, what did you what was the thinking behind the warrior ban?
Miracle Rogue and Rush Warrior are really good into everything aside from Control Warrior. Control Warrior was kind of like the sweeper of the lineup that I brought. Um,
Hmm.
and the
Yeah.
stat sheet, I mean, Priest statistically was the worst deck, but I mean, that's just looking at HS replay. Obviously, we all know that Priest stats aren't exactly
Yeah.
super indicative of how it is. So he banned it, obviously.
Sure. Now,
Right.
I
Go
want to
ahead.
ask you: do you think this, in particular, this rogue deck? How are you feeling about Miracle Rogue right now? Because I'm seeing it a lot on ladder, and it's a pretty powerful deck. But I see arguments on both sides.
It is my favorite deck of the format. It's deck I just have more fun. I just have fun playing it. Is it the best deck? I don't know if it's the best deck. It wins a lot of matchups that it shows as unfavored as for me. So it's what I've played with all
Sure,
season, most of the season, and I've only switched it up a few times just out of statistical necessity. But other than that, it's just so fun to play for me.
that's fair. Comfort and fun are really important, I think. So, um,
Yeah,
well, now, do you have any particular questions, or should I move to some of my more fun questions?
go for it.
So, I want to ask Hitachi first. We are having the mini set incoming this week.
hmm
Is there anything you want to see in the mini? What would be your number one wish? I would love to see this for this class.
I would love. I just want to play a bunch of that big Murloc dude that eats your hand, eats your opponent's hand. That's all I want. Like out of
Just
life
want to
right
do
now. Just
that
play
in
some
Shadow Step?
Mutanus. Yep. Just play some Mutanus. I don't even know if I'll put it in Rogue, but I know I'll be playing it in some way.
Sure.
You can play
There,
Menagerie in every deck now.
That's it. Nazoth. Give me some Mutanus. Give me some Light Shower Elemental and Priest.
yeah. Priest has another card now to deal with combos. It's not just Lucia anymore.
hmm
Um, in particular about that though, I want to ask you: do you think we're going to get a balance back before the mini extension, or together with the mini expansion, or do you think they just are going to wait a bit to see if the mini expansion does enough of a job?
I think nothing is completely oppressive right now. Everything pretty much has checks and balances.
Sure.
I don't see them doing a balance patch as well. I think they're going to let the mini set play out, and then I think within 2 weeks is going to be the balance patch that we'll see. Depending on if something from the mini set is as broken as some of the other things that we've seen in mini sets, a la Crab Rider and Risky Skipper, and some of those cards like that.
Sure. Yeah, those are some good examples of what I would call broken cards.
Yeah, your Nitro Boost Poisons of the world.
Yeah.
Are there any
Now,
classes you're interested in, or hoping that come back into relevance?
What's that? Anything that I hope comes back into relevance?
Any classes that you particularly are interested you're hoping comes back after the mini
I
set?
I kind of hope that I hope that more non-token druid decks are good. I like druid as a class, but I think that token druid is kind of been the same song and dance for quite some time, and
yes.
I don't know. It's a little bit old to me, so I hope that another druid deck pops up that's viable.
Yeah.
That'd be
I
interesting.
That would be really nice. I hope they make. I mean, they. It sounds like they're making Celestial Druid a little bit better. Do you think that the card, the legendary they revealed, is enough to make the Druid playable? What's your
The
thought
one that
there?
makes the one that makes nature spells cheaper.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's decent. I mean, it's presumably like it can make. I mean, it can make cards cost zero, so there's definitely something to look at there.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no clause that says but not less than one. So anytime that a card can cost zero, that's 2 mana. That's something to look at.
Yeah. Now, my final question for Tachi here before we end our show is: do you have any shout outs you want to give, anyone you want to call, anything you would like to say? The floor is all yours.
Just shout out to everyone in THL. I mean, obviously the F2L team, everyone on there is super good, and it's been really helpful and like supportive because I haven't had like the me esque season that I'm used to having. Um, just had a lot of obligations in life, a lot of stuff going on. Really hard to get as involved with Hearthstone and prep and all that stuff as I want to be. So not being able to be a part of that as much as I normally am, and they've still been super supportive, and I appreciate
Mhm.
that from them.
It's
Yeah,
great.
that's awesome. Um, any final words you would like to say, Wild Nine, before we end the show?
No, congratulations, Itachi. Your team is coming out with a big win, hopefully, this week.
I would hope so. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, really good job for F12 Black. Very much ahead. What was the second best team in Hero? I want to thank everyone who played on stream and who are viewers as well. I want to thank Ridiculous Hat, Itachi. I want to really, really thank Wild Nine for being here with me. This is a very fast game, but I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. And if anyone would like to play on Schoolstone, you can DM me. We're looking for matches next week. If you want to play any other time, just DM me, DM Fish, DM Saku. We're happy to find you time. Just let us know. All matches are welcome, independent of skill level, player, etc., etc. You know the drill. I say this every time. Um, I believe that is it for us. We don't actually have a second match today. So I just want to thank you all for being here, and we'll see you next class.